Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. This is a painting video. All those that you knew, I paint something every Monday. I usually put a video up from my pile of shame. You might see let's build videos and then you'll see, painted videos. The thing that I build could be, a month later it's painted up. These are not tutorial videos. These are for me to get through my pile of shame. If there's anything that I do on there and that helps you, then great, fantastic. If you just have the video on whilst you're painting your own models and listening to me paint whilst you're painting, that's, great, fantastic. Thank you very much. For all my regulars here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so what am I painting on this video? I was going to paint a Space Marine, because I've just done Let's Build on this amazing model, which was very difficult, but it's done. I was going to paint the Space Marine. I said, you know what? No, because at the moment it's a Space Marine AdMech. It was then Necron, and just I need to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to go with this bad boy. Okay, this is I can't even remember what it's called now, but it is from the Imperium magazine. Okay, and it's just a piece of terrain, a very interesting detailed piece of terrain that's going to take me, should be quite quick and simple and easy to paint, but just do a few bits in that can embellish a little bit of detail to it. So first thing I'm going to do, I have a wet palette here, but I have nothing set up yet because I was going to do the Space Marine, but I've just changed my mind. I'm going to get an all over coat with lead belcher airbrush paint. If you've got the spray can, the rattle can, use that because it's a lot easier. But I'm not going to do the skull. Okay, I'm not going to paint the skull, but I'm going to paint everything else and all the dials and nozzles and everything else. So I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right, so I've given it a once over with the lead belcher air paint. Sorry about the birds chirping away in the background. As you can see, there's a few bits on top I'm not happy with, so it would need a second coat. But can you see this bit here, the helmet? Yeah, I'm not happy with that. It's just, I think the airbrush paint is just a little bit too wet for to stick to this. Not to stick to it, but just to stay flat on the panels. But it's not a big issue. What I'll do is I'll give it a second coat when this one dries. But things, let me make that so the camera. Down here you can see where the paint is just streaked from the brush, but that gives it weather effect. That looks okay, because you've got to remember this is a piece of terrain. Okay, yeah, you want to have it looking nice, but you don't want this looking amazing and then taking the visual effects away from your models. Basically, you want it on terrain, want it to look good, but at the same time saying it, you don't want it to be overpowering your models. Like see this. Oh wait, let's move this over a bit. I don't want this to look as good as this. Okay. Not that I'd ever get at this level, but I don't want this to look as good as that, because it'll take it away from the model then. But leave it to dry. I'll come over with a second coat. A second coat won't be over the whole thing. It'll just be touch up here and there, like this bit on the head here. This looks a bit moody. Just touch up here and there and just bring up a bit of silver, because I'm going to be dry brushing it. I'm going to be washing it. I'm going to be doing all these different bits and pieces to it. So I'll leave that to dry and I'll come back to you then, guys. Right, so I've given it a little touch up here and there with the silver. I've got 3 colours on my wet palette. They are beaten copper, retributor armor, and this is Mechanica standard grey. Okay. Now I plan on doing the skull with the Mechanicus grey. I do have some Tristan red airbrush paint to do a few panels here and there. I also have on the side here Canaptic alloy layer, Runefang steel layer, and Runelord brass. Okay. Now I'm unsure at the moment if I'm going to use any of those three. I'd imagine one of the two layer paints could be used for a dry brush here and there. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but there we're at. That's where we're at so far. So I'm actually going to start with some of the Mechanicus grey. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to just start doing a little bit. You can see what I'm doing. I just want to get a nice little thin coat across there, just to take the darkness away from it and give it a bit of grey. Because I am probably going to go with some Screaming Skull and then some little dry brush with white. So I'm going to get on with the rest of that. And there we are, after the first coat. It's looking quite nice. It's a nice little darkness to it. Now I'm going to go for Mephiston Red. This is the airbrush paint as well. If you have the normal one, doesn't matter. But I'm actually going to go for all of this paneling along here. Okay, I'm just going to give you a rough little idea of what I'm going to do. Just all this paneling I'm going to do with the Mephiston Red. Okay, I'm going to go off camera and do that, and I'll come back to you in a second. I might actually also do the panels in the middle here. Okay, I'll show you that when I come back. Here we are. Yeah. Now with that Mephiston Red airbrush paint, because it's a base coat of silver, any bits that I missed are going to come through like a silvery red. Let's get up close and have a little look. It looks a little bit orangey in this light, I'm afraid, sorry, but it is red. Here's Mephiston Red. Yeah, so like this panel down here, as that's still wet, but as it's drying, you can have the silver coming through, so it's looking like it's a worn panel. But I might even give those two a little touch up and more afterwards. Now, what I want to do is move forward onto Retributive Armour and Being Copper. So I'm literally going to start on the front here and decide, okay, this is going to be this is going to be that, and just start adding those two colours on. You don't really need to see me adding individual things. These part here, I'm actually looking forward to doing. But I don't know if I should leave that silver and then dry brush it, or if I should do bits and pieces here and there, like with the gold or beaten copper. But you've got things like this and this one. Okay, these are little lights. You know, you've got all the gauges here, which is not an issue. You can just dry brush those. It's not a big issue. There's a little light here. There's a light here on the side there. I've already got a colour for that one. So I'm going to start with the gold and the beaten copper, and I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right, so here we are. As you can see, I haven't gone over the top with the beaten copper or the Retributive Armour. Yeah, I think the little bolts along there look amazing. I like all the copper work. Very, very simple, not over the top. Yeah, I mean, like I said, these little bits here, you can do those bits if you wanted to as well. I've done the end there. Yeah, with the Retributive Armour. Even these little bits here, you can do them. But I don't see the need to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give the whole thing wash over with nun oil. Now I was torn between normal nun oil and the gloss one, so I've just gone for the normal one because I think the gloss one is going to make certain parts look shiny that I don't want to look shiny. But I was actually debating, with using the two. But so I'm going to give it a whole wash down with just a normal one, and then leave that to dry, and I'll come back to you then, guys. So I've washed all that down. I've got some Emperor's Children, some pink on the wet palette, and a bit of Screaming Skull on the wet palette. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, turn this over so you can see. What I'm thinking is, we're going to do the Emperor's pink here on the two light sockets. And then I was thinking, I wasn't sure with the skull what to do. I wanted to bring it out to make it look like a skull, but then I'm still not sure. So the first thing I'm going to do with the Screaming Skull is go around the edge, okay, and the teeth and the eye socket. And if I think that looks okay, then I'll carry on and bring it up with the Screaming Skull and then add a little bit of white afterwards. But also with the pink, what I'm doing is this is a layer paint. I want to give it a nice healthy blob like that. Okay, see how piercing that is. But the problem is it will dull down because it's a layer paint, And then what I'll do is I'll bring it up with a second layer, but don't go away to the edge, just come in a little bit and a little bit more, so the center point of it will be the most illuminated piece, so give me some sort of light effect. Well, let's give the Screaming Skull a little blast just around the edge. Again, the Screaming Skull is a layer paint, so I'm knocking the camera on, sorry. So it will go on bright and just dull itself down. It might even be a bit too much, I'm not sure. Sorry. The arm on the table, that's why I'm knocking it, sorry. I'm going to crack on with the Screaming Skull and I'll come back to you in a second, guys. Right, so here we are. How amazing does that look? Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is get some White Scars White. I'm going to water it down a little bit on the wet palette. So I want to just give it a little gentle, white bit here and there. Again, White Scars White is a layer paint, so it will go on bright, but it will dull itself down. Now I'm going to leave that to dry a bit and take the opportunity to have a conversation with you guys about something that's upcoming starting from this weekly Wednesday. Right guys, so hope you enjoyed that. Actually brilliant to paint, really enjoyed painting it. What I've took this opportunity to talk to you about is, from this weekly Wednesday, somewhere in the weekly Wednesday video, I'm going to present you with a heap of models, okay? It could be 3, 4, 5, something like that. And I want you guys to vote on which one you want me to paint for next Monday's painting video. You know, there'll be more information to do with it on the weekly Wednesday, but that's my way going forward, because I was going to paint this guy. Yeah, and then I thought, oh, I don't know. I'm in an R-ing, that's why I painted that piece. So I thought myself, if instead of me in an R-ing, if I present you guys with models and you guys vote on it and which ones you want me to paint, then I'll paint them. If it turns out to be in the event of nobody votes, then I'll just roll a d6 and pick one randomly rolled from a d6. Or if there's a draw on, some people want this one, some people want that one, again, then I'll roll d6 and just let the dice gods decide. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, I'm going to show you some pretty pictures in a second. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy guys.